friends, this is Praveen. Welcome back to my YouTube channel Edify Let's Learn Together. Today is my favorite video because I have worked as a support person in L1 for 6 to 7 months. Then I moved on my career to L2 team. I worked for 10 months. Then I did my MBA and I'm working as a customer success for last 2 years. So this is a very common question being asked, that how did you transition from a support person to a customer success member, and how should we also do? So this question has been commonly asked by so many people, including my colleagues in previous company as well as in current company. So I thought I will try to summarize and say what are the day-to-day routines of being a customer support member, what will be for customer success, what are the metrics I was measured my performance in customer support, and what are the metrics I'm being measured in customer success, and what are the skills which I was having or which are required for customer support, and what are the skills required for customer success. So after this all comparison and detailed explanation, you will be able to know what are the skills which you currently have, what are the skills you need to improve to kind of transition successfully. So let's start by understanding the day-to-day routine of customer support and customer success. Customer support, the day-to-day routine will be to handle queries which are coming from customers, working closely with internal team, addressing the customer queries which are coming in production and solving it. So here the customer support member doesn't get to handle an individual customer. In most of the cases, they used to handle all the queries coming from all the customers irrespective of the product also. So there you don't get to handle a specific customer, whereas going to a customer success, the day-to-day routine is you get a specific customer, you start giving a demo or you solutioning them based on their requirement, followed by after they agree to the product, you try to onboard them based on their requirements. Post they get onboarded, you give them trainings and workshops to help them to use the product better, and in due course of time you kind of build a good relationship with customers and try to look for a new cross-sell opportunity. So this is the difference between customer support and customer success in terms of day-to-day routine. Now let's go for the metrics. So in matrices, in terms of customer support, the primary metric is what is the TAT of first response, what is the TAT you took to give the final resolution. Followed by the major one is CSAT, how many customers are satisfied. So after you complete the query resolution, you send a CSAT to your customer and they click on seeing whether they were satisfied or not. Also, they look at what are your new learnings, what is your product knowledge, what are the improvements you have brought. But primarily the first response, the resolution rate, as well as the number of CSATs you have got will be the primary metrics your performance will be measured in customer support. In customer success, it is primarily measured on the time taken to move to production. So the customer has given the requirements and agreements and everything has started. From the time of accepting or confirming on the requirements, how much time you took to move the customer to production, and with how many escalations or no escalation is also a metric. Followed by you will be also measured based on the adoption rate. After moving to production, the customer should use the product. If your customer is not using the product, then it doesn't serve the purpose. So how well the customer is getting adapted to the product. Also, number of cross sells. So after kind of successfully adapting to the product, you look at the various teams or various requirements the corresponding team has, and you start cross selling. How many successful cross sells you have done, followed by number of enhancements. Number of enhancements is based on the customer requirement, or you interact with the customer, you understand there is a problem is faced by the customer, and you come back to the product team and say, hey, we need to develop this feature or we need to develop this product which has a demand in market. So all this are the primary metrics which have been measured for customer success. Along with, if you are a new joinee or if you are in 2-3 years of experience, the learnings which you have got, which you are contributing to the team, also will be a metric. So we have covered the day-to-day routine, we have covered the metrics. Now let's go for the skills required. So primarily the skills required for a support person is product knowledge, because that helps him or her in solving the product related issues, followed by problem solving skills. Now each customer will not define clearly what is the problem. They might give you partial information, or they might not be really understanding what information will be required for you. So you need to be having a good communication skills over email. You need to communicate exactly the requirement, get the details from the customer and solve the problem. Also, you might need to work closely with the internal team, get things and sort it out for the customer. So these are the skills which are highly required for the day-to-day routine of a customer support member. The same applies for the customer success member also. Product knowledge for sure, problem solving skills for sure. The internal team discussion in customer support was primarily for solving an issue. In customer success, the discussion with the internal team will be primarily for developing an enhancement or building a new product. Along with this, stakeholder management skill will be required, because being a customer success, you will be working with the top management, middle management, and the end user also. So you need to know how to interact with people, how to share details to people, how to get information. So you need to have a overall stakeholder management. Not only communication skills will here help here, you need to have a good communication skills over call, you need to have a good communication skills and presentation skills in front of your customer. So as a whole, you need to have a very good stakeholder management skills, and you need to have a very good presentation skills, because while you are giving a demo, you need to understand the requirement of the customer and you need to pitch accordingly. Each customer kind of has a different requirement. Knowing the priorities of the customer and pitching the product accordingly will help in conversion. Also, project management skills. As a customer success manager, you also need to have a very good project management skills. From the time of agreeing on the requirements, you need to clearly give them the details, saying these are the timelines, these are the details which are required from your end, and you need to keep them updating them on each stage, saying that this is the progress, this is where we stand, so that the project goes smoothly and you will be able to onboard them on time. Finally, the training skills, because after they get onboarded, you need to train users to use the product effectively, so you need to have a very good training skills. So as we have completed the difference between the day-to-day routine metrics and the skills required, if you are a person who is trying to look to shift from L2 or an L1 to a customer success, the areas where you need to primarily focus is to look at the stakeholder management. So you need to come out of the email communication or problem solving to a specific stakeholder, because in email support you would have been responding for multiple customers without any personal touch. Here you will be having a specific customer, you need to build rapport with them, you need to know what is their preferred mode of communication. Some people like it very professional, some people will like it unofficial. So you need to understand all those things and present yourself. Also, you need to have the project management skills. Now your primary objective is to onboard a customer with less or no issue, so you need to kind of have a very good project management skills. Clearly define what are the requirements, clearly define the timeline and process, so that there are no issues. If there are any issues which comes in, try to communicate to the customer effectively, address it as best as possible. Training skills, this is also highly required, because in support role currently we are not training any customer, we are only solving the problem. But when we become a customer success manager, we might need to kind of train the end customers. You need to go down to their level and explain each and everything, so that they will be able to use the product better. Also, in terms of presentation or demo, also is a very important skill to convert or cross sell. So you need to develop on your skills to how to present your product better, understand the use case of the customer, understand the problems which are there in the industry, and then try to connect it with the futures of the product and summarize and present it to the customer, so that the cross sell will be better and your demo will be better. So these are the areas, if you are someone who is in support trying to shift to customer success, you need to look for and improve. So please do share this video with all your friends who want to know what customer success does, or for people who want to kind of shift from support team to customer success. Hope this video was helpful. Please do subscribe, like, comment. Thank you. See you in another video. Bye.